Okay, so in this video we're going to do 7 and 8 together. Actually, these two queries accomplish the exact same thing. The difference is one of them does not use a subquery, the other one does use a subquery. And really the point is that you can use a subquery simply to make the syntax cleaner, make the query more legible. Even if a subquery is not necessarily warranted, you can use them to simplify matters in your syntax. So basically, let's do number 7 first. It says write an outer join. This is really this is the one without the subquery. We're really getting back into the last chapter here, but it says write an outer join to get a list of vendors that have no products in the inventory table. So let's do that, and we'll also recap what an outer join is. So I'm going to begin here. I'll say select, oops, and it really doesn't say which fields to retrieve here. I'll just retrieve everything from the vendor table. I'm qualifying, this is going to be a join, and both of the tables are going to have that vendor ID column, so that's why I qualified that one. But you know, vendor name you don't have to qualify there, that's only in the vendor table. And then I think we'll do country. You know what, maybe I'll skip the estimated order days, that's not really important here. So we'll say this is from vendor. Okay, join inventory on, and then I'm going to add a join clause here, vendor dot vendor ID equals inventory dot vendor ID. Okay. So this would be just a basic inner join. An inner join is what you get by default if you don't specify otherwise. And what this will do is it's going to return only those vendors that have a match in the inventory table, only those vendors that have inventory items. Let me run it real quick. Okay, so I have 35 rows returned. And there are certain vendors, I know for a fact, that are in the vendor table that have no items, and they are not on this list. Like Lindt Chocolates is one of them. So if you want to retrieve all records, regardless of whether or not they have a match, that is called an outer join. Okay, so you can do a left outer join or a right outer join. It really depends on which table is listed where. Okay, so here I have vendor on the left and inventory on the right. It really just depends on the order in which you name the tables or list the tables. So this is, I'm going to make a left join because vendor is the one on the left, and that's the one for whom I want all of the records, regardless of whether or not there's a match. So let me just run this. Okay, notice I have 46 rows now, and when I scroll to the bottom, we have some of these other ones that we know do not have inventory items in the inventory table. You know what, let me just grab a few, maybe just one. I'm trying to find out what the name of that was. I think maybe it was like item name or something. Oh, let me look in here. I just want to demonstrate something here. Item description it is. Okay, item description. Let's throw that into the mix. Okay, so we have all of the item descriptions for the various vendors. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Now, because we did the left join, these ones made the cut anyway, even though they have no items in the item table. So, or the inventory table, I should say. So what I'd like to do, and getting back to the original question, I know I took a bit of a detour there, but getting back to the original question, we are asked to get a list of vendors that have no products in the inventory table, and it's really, we want just a list of those vendors that that have nulls in the inventory table. Okay, so why don't we just add a where clause here? Okay, and we'll say where, and say inventory dot vendor ID, okay, is null. Okay, or Or, I mean, we could have even just said inventory dot item description is null, or item description is null. I mean, with the whole row is going to be null when it comes down to it. So let me run that. Okay, and these are the ones. 11 of them have no products at all in the inventory table. So, okay, getting back to the whole subquery issue. So that's one way of doing it. Okay, it was kind of a roundabout way of doing it, I think. Now let's do it the subquery way, and then you'll see the benefit for using a subquery. It really is simpler syntax. So we're going to redo 7, but using a subquery, and it would basically amount to this. I'm going to comment this one out. Okay, just a little bit of logic here. We'll say select all from vendor. Okay, where, already it's way simpler, right? Where vendor ID not in the results that we get from this subquery. Select vendor ID from inventory. That's it. So I'm going to select all the vendor IDs that appear in the inventory table, and those are the vendors that have inventory items. So whoever's not in that list are really the Lints and the, you know, Dolphin and Cavalier and all these companies that have no inventory items. So that's it. Let me go ahead and run it. All right, again, we have those same 7 rows.